Hello everybody and welcome back to another episode of Vitally Veg. On today's episode, we are going to be making my chickenless seitan recipe. This is pretty much just like the beefless seitan recipe, except a chicken substitute instead, and a couple ingredient changes. I hope you guys try this recipe out and enjoy. Let's get started. Alright, to start, I have a large bowl here and I'm going to add 2 cups of Vital wheat gluten. Next, I have a tablespoon of MSG. You can use mushroom powder instead if you're more into that. After that, I have a teaspoon of poultry seasoning, a half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and a half a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna go ahead and add those in like that. And next, I'm just going to add in some freshly ground black pepper to taste. Once you've done that, go ahead and whisk all your dry ingredients together so that they're well combined. Next, in a large blender or food processor, I'm going to blend 15.5 ounces of aquafaba and garbanzo beans, so just don't drain the can. And I'm going to go ahead and blend that on high until it's smooth, just like that. If you have a bigger food processor than mine, you can add all of the wet ingredients in at this point. Mine's just really small, so I had to do it separately. So I've got my ground beans. And then next, I have 3 tablespoons of neutral oil. I used canola oil here. Next, I'm going to add a half a tablespoon of vegan Worcestershire. And I'm just going to go ahead and mix that until everything is combined. Alright. Next, I have 3/4 of a cup of piping hot vegan chickenless broth. And then I'm going to add in my wet ingredients, and we're just going to go ahead and stir that quickly until the seitan ball forms. It's going to be a little bit hard at first. You just want to make sure you scrape down the sides and get everything into the ball. Once that's mostly combined, go ahead and flour a surface with a little bit of Vital wheat gluten and turn out the seitan onto the surface. Next, we're going to knead that for 2 to 4 minutes or until the gluten develops really well and it becomes stretchy. Alright, so I'm going to show you guys the stretch that we want. Should look just like that. Next, I'm going to form this into the desired shape. You can make this into chickenless breasts or nuggets or a loaf. I'm doing a loaf shape so that I can just tear off pieces as I go. We're going to go ahead and wrap this in tinfoil. If you don't like using tinfoil, you can always just steam this as is. Just make sure you watch it more during the steaming process and flip it more often so that it doesn't overcook. So I'm just going to go ahead and twist the ends up like a Tootsie Roll, make sure everything is secure in there. And once that's done, I'm going to go ahead and let that rest for about 10 minutes while my steamer is heating up. So I have my steamer going right now with the appropriate amount of water, and I have it set to high. Once that's hot and ready, I'm going to go ahead and put my seitan loaf in the center and cook that on medium heat for 2 hours, checking it and flipping it halfway, making sure that there's enough water. Once that's done, cool and use it however you desire. Alright you guys, that was my chickenless seitan recipe. If you want to see one of the ways to use this recipe, I do have a chickenless quesadilla recipe on my website. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out vitallyveg.com for more recipes. I'll see you guys next time.